So number one, it's to create set of standards for the blockchains across all different chains to make payments a really good experience. Similar things happen in the credit card space. There's a foundation called the EMV Foundation, which created chip cards, right? So like they created standards for how those chip cards and those data transfers happen, and it led to a better card experience for all of us.
Mastercard, Visa, these payment networks that are entrenched and the incumbents, how do you think about this competitive landscape?
If you don't have an institutional arm to your company as a blockchain company today, you're pretty much cooked. You're screwed, because Polygon's going out and getting onboarded to Revolut, and you don't even have an institutional sales guy, like you're screwed. Welcome back to The Roll Up.
This is your home to learn from the biggest guests, the brightest minds at the tip of innovation.
Our goal is to help spread the collective knowledge of everyone in our community.
We are breaking crypto out of its echo chamber and taking it to the real world.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy it. All right, guys, we are New SaaS episode 11. We're here with Jamal, the head of US payments at Polygon Labs. Jamal, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
No, we don't need to bury the lead. We're with Revolut, one of the biggest payments in the world.
Yes.
I mean, there's only one question. How did you pull this off?
Hard work and dedication, a couple of it beat us. It makes the partnerships happen, but we're excited. There's obviously supporting a number of chains, but we really like working with them. We think they're vision aligned with our payments thesis, and super bullish. I've been a long time Revolut user, so I'm just happy to see our name in that app, which is great.
I love it. Yeah, that's awesome. Tell us a little bit about the story. How did you guys first get acquainted with the Revolut team? We had Sam on in New York just a couple of weeks ago, and he told us how a lot of times these institutions will bring you in to almost in a consulting format because they're just curious. They're just trying to learn about the space. And was that how this started, and then it gradually morphed into what the partnership is now today? Tell us a little bit, just looking off a couple of these facts here. Revolut integrates Polygon for payments, trading, and staking, processing $690 million to date. So take us from 0 to 690, and then we'll take it from there.
You are right. I think most of these enterprises, they know that they want to do something in the space, but they don't know what, right? They have some mandate from their CEO or some sort of like high board member, and they're like, we just need to get into the space. Like, what do we do? And they come to us, and we're obviously in a favorable position for them, considering we don't sell financial services or anything like that. So they come to us first and they ask, like, what do we do? How do we architect it? Who do we talk to? Who are the right players? And we actually spend hours and hours and hours with them, giving them like a lay of the land, not even pitching them, just a lay of the land of like, this is what a stablecoin is. This is what like is predominant use cases, whatever. General stuff happened with Revolut. I mean, it's a long time relationship, so like over a year, and they're super fintech forward. They're super, super bullish on crypto. They're really excited about like the cross-border payments applications and whatnot. But yeah, it's huge that like someone who's moving the fintech space so forward is now jumping into crypto because they see the value of some of these rails, the value of some of these stablecoins, which is great. I mean, they integrated trading in their exchange mostly in Europe a while back, so that's been live for a while. So a couple chains, a couple different assets, and a lot of volume on the trading side. But the cool part about this partnership is that they're actually validating the thesis behind stablecoins. They're actually validating that stablecoins are not just a trading mechanism. They're actually very, very useful for cross-border payments, for remittances, especially people who don't have access to Revolut, right? And the key of this integration is that Revolut now gets to tap into like the whole African market, the whole Latin American market, which is really tough to tap into, right? Like you got to go get regulated, licensed, whatever. One integration, you turn on the whole world, which is pretty powerful.
And so they have probably almost 1 billion users or customers, a couple hundred million?
65 million.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay,
Sounds right. Yeah. Casual.
There's only 8 billion people in the world.
Like Revolut is so big that's, 1 billion is, so 65 million
users across 38 countries and 14 million crypto users.
Yeah, it's pretty much.
Revolut has such a large crypto representation already.
Yeah.
I mean, Revolut's always had this like fintech forward crowd, people who are open to challenger banks and people who are open to like, better experiences on the financial system, don't need to know or don't need to use one of those like old school names or whatever. So it makes sense to me that all of those guys are like naturally dipping their toe in crypto.
Yeah. So maybe we can talk a bit about what the actual roadmap is to get this, now that the headlines hit the newswire, what does the implementation look like for Polygon and for Revolut, and what kind of traction do you expect to get from this?
I think the big focus here is that we want to do remittances, right? So I think the really exciting part is that like this will start being used for like overseas payments, cross-border payments and whatnot. I think that they've had a ton of traction on the exchange stuff. So it's just kind of now like now us getting our feet wet with other stuff. I think, long term, I think they're looking at a whole bunch of stuff. In the beginning, it started with just like regular stablecoin remittances and stablecoin payments. There's like interesting conversations happening about like on-chain FX, like how do we do like cross-border payments with some of our other stablecoins? Like we have a ton of stablecoins in Latin America specifically. They have a ton of users that are asking for cross-border payments and remittances internally in the app as well. The implementation is actually already done. So this announcement was kind of just like telling everyone that this is like going live soon. I actually don't know what the official launch date is. I don't even know if we have one yet, but I know it's soon. And I know that they're pretty excited about it. And we spent a lot of time working with them to try to get them up to speed, tighten up the product for that. But really almost all the plumbing was already built. Like the beauty of blockchain is you integrate it once and like you don't have to like reshape it or do anything crazy for it.
And that's where the $690 million dollars of volume already comes from, is the stable coins that are already being processed on Revolut have gone through Polygon to the tune of $690 million.
Oh, they have a lot of like, so they have a trading exchange on the Revolut app in like Europe and other countries. So like not available for me in the US, unfortunately yet. But they do have an exchange where you can trade like Pol and a bunch of other tokens as well. So that exchange has already done around 690 million. Now they're taking that plumbing, which is the same plumbing that you need for remittances or like B2B payments or whatever. They're taking that plumbing and building the product to be more payments focused. And that requires much more stablecoin integrations and much more like of that cross-border payment stuff.
And so I'm starting to see Polygon become ubiquitous in payments. To your credit, the head of US payments. And so Mastercard, Stripe, Flutterwave, Dcard, now Revolut joins all of these other teams, right? I'm curious about the network effects as you start to build this coalition, right? It starts, you have to go out, you have to do the outbound to go get these projects. But once you have that critical mass of teams, now I'd imagine you're going to start to see inbound. Oh, Revolut partnered with these guys. Now Cash App, BVNK, all these other ones are going to start coming to you to start to join that same network. What has that been like now that this has been live? It's been, happening. Have you seen some inbound? What are you expecting to come next into Polygon?
Yeah, tons of inbound, big names for sure, like names that we all know and love. So we're excited to see some more announcements come out, especially in Q1. I think the interesting thing here is that like there is a massive distribution play to be had with some of these guys. As this like network effect expands, you kind of look at Polygon as like the payments place, right? If you want to come to do blockchain payments, you want to tap into this market, then you have to come to Polygon and use that ecosystem. So it is an ecosystem play for sure. And as we expand with more partnerships, there's a flywheel effect of like users lead to more partnerships, which leads to more partnerships, and which leads to more users. So
that is what's happening in kind of like the institutional like sales side, you could say, or like in the business development pipeline, right? So it's just going to keep happening, right? Because now you've got the Lindy, right? Like, oh, we're working with X, Y, and Z. We call it like the Clooney effect. So Ocean's 11, they were trying to get Brad Pitt and George Clooney, right? But neither of them were interested. So they told Clooney that Pitt was in, and they told Pitt that Clooney was in, and then they got them both, right? Yeah. You guys have Stripe, you guys have Revolut, and also you have this recent announcement with Mastercard and Mercury. So that's on the BD side. Now on the on-chain side, Mastercard has chosen Polygon to launch username-based transfers for self-custody wallets. It's a lot of words. Like, what the hell does that mean? What is a username-based transfer for self-custody wallets? How does that affect my daily life? How does that going to affect Mastercard's kind of customer base?
So, I mean, it's no like secret that sometimes transacting the blockchain can be rough, right? Like, so 100%, I think that like, 0x559, blah, 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 like can be kind of complicated, especially as I'm trying to get like my mom into crypto for sure. So I think this is like, it's a huge step to just make the user experience better.
Yeah.
But there's also like another layer in where this like makes transactions safer, right? You actually have heard there's probably a good number of stories of like, oh, someone like crypto.com accidentally sent like, a couple $1 million to the wrong address or something like that. So there's a lot of examples of these, and that is just a poor experience if we want to get this to like the next level. 100%. So I think the partnership is bigger than just the naming service, but I am actually the most excited about the naming service, just the fact that everyone's going to have this like super, super human readable address or address, and we'll all just be able to share that. And Mastercard, which is like the connective tissue for so much of our financial world already, is going to have this like infrastructure available for everyone, which is really exciting. The cool part about credential that's like really not like teased enough in the presser is that there's a whole credential stack underneath that. Right. And it's just starting with identity, right? Identity is one of the most difficult problems on the blockchain, especially in financial services, hands down. But there's a lot of stuff beyond that, right? Like credit scores or like your mortgages or other, data that can be put on chain and tied to that credential that can just make your entire on-chain experience tremendously better. Yeah. So it's that whole architecture that I think is really exciting.
Trade on anything: economics, weather, sports, crypto, and more. All on Kalshi.com 24/7 for the world's biggest prediction market. Looking for yield that stands out? Infinifi gives you just that. Deposit stablecoins and earn far more than the current savings rate. Infinifi is a battle-tested, reliable DeFi platform that is ready to go. Head to infinifi.xyz.
Halliday is unified crypto payments. Give your users more wherever they are. Go to halliday.xyz to never write a smart contract again.
Is there an ecosystem project that you guys are using for identity? We know that there's a couple of decentralized identity, WorldCoin, Humanity.
Yeah, Humanity just announced
their Mastercard integration.
Mastercard's Human ID is going to be powered by them.
Oh, wow.
This is like another step here. It seems like they're entering the space pretty heavily.
100%. Yeah. I think Visa came in aggressive earlier in the space. Oh yeah, so like it's well known that Visa came out with USDC settlement really, really early, which was very forward thinking. Nice. They hired a bunch of people in the crypto space, which are really sharp and built some cool stuff for sure. But like Mastercard's a sleeper. People don't talk about it enough. I mean, they much love to the Mastercard folks, but admittedly they moved a little bit slower. But when they moved way more methodical. They came out with something called MTN, which is like a robust tokenization framework, which is like really, really good for banks. It's like becoming a gold standard. This crypto credential is another good example. So I think they're being more creative. They're going to do the same stuff, right? They're going to do USDC settlement. They're going to do all the other USDC stuff because that's obvious. But this like credentialing stuff, this more on-chain frameworks, I think it's like a really, really interesting way that they're entering the space. And I think it's going to be really, really important as we go on because they are, like I said earlier, the connective tissue for so much of our world. Yeah. So for them to hold this infrastructure really makes it powerful.
How do you look at the competitive landscape of not the blockchain competitive landscape? We talked about that at nausea, but the Mastercard, Visa, these payment networks that are entrenched and the incumbents. How do you think about this competitive landscape? You've done a partnership with Mastercard. Can you also go and do a partnership with Visa?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I don't really care, do they?
Well, I mean, I think there are some feelings here and there, competitive spirit, but honestly, like what I love about crypto is that there's this like decentralized ethos, like we're all winning together. Right. And like I'm very close with all the different payments leads at all different blockchains. We're all joking around. We're all really good friends, right? And I don't think there's this mentality of like one person is going to win. There's so much business to be had. There's so much like traction to be made because like the opportunity is massive. Our traditional financial system is a dinosaur, right? And to chip away slowly at these pieces is like, it's going to take some time. So I think that, well, number one, we love Visa. I think there's a very important relationship there. And I think you're going to see a lot more coming out, hopefully at the top of next year. We're already in motion with a couple things. But yeah, I don't think that there's any sort of like negative spirit between the two of them. I tried to get Visa and Mastercard on the same panel yesterday, but I don't know why that didn't happen. That would have been funny. But yeah, I don't think that there's any like competitive spirit. There's a lot of love between them for each other. There's a lot of love between us and all of them. I think there's interoperability that needs to happen. I like kind of the competitive spirit of keeping each other in line and delivering fast.
Not your keys, not your coins. From the team that pioneered cold storage, Trezor has just released its new wallet. Guys, if you are still using hot wallets in 2025, 2026, you are missing the entire point. Secure your coins. Get a Trezor at trezor.io.
Go anywhere on-chain instantly with Relay.link. Relay is closing in on $10 billion transferred. Go to Relay.link to bridge your assets now.
On that note, kind of flipping that more into the crypto verse, how you guys, have established Polygon as this payments chain. There's obviously like this whole sleuth of stablecoin chains that have came out. But I think, one thing that has been pressing on my mind here in DevConnect has been this, and really following from SmartCon last week, man, is just, or 2 weeks ago, is like the seats at the table are being set, like the table is being set. There's like really a 1 or 2 year kind of phase here that's already started probably 6 to 12 months ago. So you probably only have 1 year left of like this really true institutional kind of like adoption phase, meaning like, if JP Morgan decides on a blockchain provider to like launch their own chain or to build all on, like chances that they stick are like they're probably a pretty sticky, like, client or customer, right? The vendor lock-in maybe isn't as intense as it can be with traditional software, but it's still pretty like intense. And so that being said, I have this thought, and Robbie does too, where if you don't have an institutional arm to your company as a blockchain company today, you're pretty much cooked. Like you're screwed, because Polygon's going out and getting onboarded to Revolut, and like you don't even have an institutional sales guy, like you're screwed. Talk to us about kind of this, like how this shift in the crypto landscape is happening, and do you agree that like you have to earn your seat at the table now, and that this time period is going to be fleeting? Is it more positive sum? Is it more longer term? How do you feel generally about this kind of phase that we're in?
You totally have to like live and breathe it to be able to like properly penetrate. To you guys' earlier point, like there is a consultative game to it, right? A lot of these guys, the phase that we're in right now, a lot of these guys are like, we need to do something, we just don't know what that is. And I think we're on a very, very long journey of a lot of interesting stuff, but we're just entering phase one, where they need these type of like enterprise handholding, whatever you want to call it, right? So yes, you're right. If you're not doing that, and you haven't started already, there's a race, and you should get on it 100%.
There's just so many teams are asking us, like, what do we do? Like our product is X and our token is Y, and like here's where we're at. No one cares, and it's just like, well, have you thought about like going and getting institutional adoption? And it's like, yeah, of course, but it's a slow process.
But it's like, how do we do it? Right?
Yeah, like people are like, teams are really like confused right now, because they see the likes of Polygon and others going and doing it, and they don't really know what to do about it.
I mean, enterprise sales is a tough game. It is. Enterprise, just BD in general. I think there's an art to like just being everywhere and talking to the right people. I mean, the language you use, the types of calls you schedule, who you introduce them to, all of that stuff matters. And there very much so is an art to it. So you do need someone who I think knows that art and can kind of penetrate into it. Network is like a huge thing here. Yeah. I've been in the crypto space for almost about 9 years now, right? And like having met all these people and building a really good network, everyone works together. Like we're really close with the team at like Fireblocks. We're really close with a team at, I don't know, like Rain. And like with those, they're going out and getting enterprises. We're co-pitching, right? A lot of the time. So I think working with people like you guys, getting the good word out there, getting a lot of people like interested in the space and teasing them to kind of learn more. Then they approach people, or we find a way to get connected with them. Then there's a long consultative cycle of like, educating them. A lot of the time, we're not even pitching them. We're just like simply educating them. We've done like so many workshops, multi-hour workshops, where the word like Polygon's like barely written in the presentation, which is good. Which is good. We want them to just like feel comfortable to explore the space, not feel like they're getting pitched or whatever. And then you slowly become that consultant for them. And then when they do something, they call you or they think of you immediately and they get your advice on it. And that's how you like shape them to go the direction you want. Like I love when people when TradFi executives will go to an airport and they'll see a Bitcoin ATM, they'll text me like, look, I see a crypto thing. And like, then they think of me, which is like what I want them to think about, right?
Shoot you a text message.
My crypto guy. Yeah. Like that's who I want to be. I want to be the crypto guy for JP Morgan. I want to be the crypto guy for Bank of America.
Older people.
Less
experience. They come to you for advice. They may even ask you for like stock picks.
Not financial advice.
That kind of vibe, though, right?
100%. Yeah.
Yeet is built for big moments. The most fun you'll ever have with your crypto. Go to yeet.com to yeet into your next game. Hibachi is fast and private perps trading, secured by ZK with Celestia underneath. Go to hibachi.xyz to start trading today.
We have a similar approach. It's an abundance mindset to share information without the the forward thinking that you're going to get something back from it.
Agreed.
But
100%.
we do believe in this principle of economic karma, where you put good ideas, good thoughts, good knowledge into the world.
I love that. Economic karma is amazing.
Yes.
That's a good one.
I wanted to ask you before we let you go about this blockchain payments consortium, which has some incredible founding members, of which Polygon is one of them. And the stat that sticks out here is $10 trillion of stable coins transferred. I believe that's this year.
Wow.
Annually, right? So $10 trillion of annual stablecoin volume by the founding members of the blockchain payments consortium. Generally, this feels like the table. This feels like the founding members, Sui, Monad, Stellar, Solana, Polygon, Fireblocks. These are the companies that currently have a seat at the table. Is it closed? Like, is this what is the blockchain payments consortium, and how do you anticipate that this will help bolster the stablecoin industry?
So that was born out of just like an amazing group of people who we all like love each other, and we hang out at all these conferences. We go have mucho bebidas together. Like, we're having a good time. And while we were there, we were like, look, we're all going through the same struggles when we're talking to large financial institutions. They don't feel comfortable with XYZ. And on top of that, like, a lot of enterprises pick multiple chains. Most of the time they pick multiple chains, right? So like we're all working together in some way, shape, or form. And each chain has their own niche and advantage. So like, it's all love at the end of the day. But there needs to be kind of a unified front to work with these large enterprises, right? As you said, enterprise sales is like tough, and a lot of people haven't figured it out, right? So there is an art to it, and we need to have like this like robust experience for those enterprises that are coming into the space. So number one, it's to create set of standards for the blockchains across all different chains to make payments a really good experience.
Yep.
Similar things happen in the credit card space. There's a foundation called the EMV Foundation, which created chip cards, right? So like they created standards for how those chip cards and those data transfers happen. And it led to a better card experience for all of us. And it's actually a joint consortium with Visa, Mastercard, and a bunch of other card networks. So similarly, in that same spirit, we thought, like, why don't we get together and create a set of standards of what does a payment look like on a blockchain? What needs to be included? What data needs to be there? Do we need to optimize the blockchain for that? Do we need to add like more fields, or do we need a technical upgrade? Like whatever. But we need to create a set of standards, and we will come out with a set of standards soon, hopefully by like Q1. But we're going to create a set of standards that makes people more comfortable to rely on blockchain transactions as payments. So imagine like Bank of America getting into the space, and they're like, oh, I don't know if this transaction's like actually from someone legit or whatever. And because of that, I'm just not going to do anything in the crypto space.
Right.
But now they can look at this like new transaction standard and say, oh, I at least know that like this is a KYC transaction, or I at least know that this is this. And I don't need to know the KYC or whatever, or maybe I do, but at least I know that this transaction is legit.
Yep.
And when you have that, you have just a lot more comfortability for enterprises, large financial institutions, even regulators. Even regulators will like that and feel more comfortable with it. On top of that, it's going to lead to a better experience for the users, right? So users using different wallets, cross-chain swapping, and all this stuff that's happening, they're going to need to see the same kind of standards and the same data fields and the same experience across all those different chains.
Yep.
And this type of like layer, or whatever we're going to call it, or wherever we're going to come out with, but this type of infrastructure is key to providing that cross-chain experience as well. Plus, we just love hanging out with each other. It's super
exactly.
fun. Yeah.
You become the kind of like dictator of the standard or of the idea. Like you become the creator of it. So
Yeah.
It's been great to have you on, man.
Yeah,
Jamal,
100%.
before we get you out of here, payments is the most fundamental use case of the blockchain.
Oh, I like it. Let's
Return
go.
to fundamentals.
100%.
There you go, buddy.
Yeah, I love it. This is sick. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Fundamentals.
Yeah,
Leading the way.
we're here for it. 100%.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Vamos, Buenos Aires. All right,
Let's
guys,
go.
we'll be right back. See you in just a second, and we will
Thank you,
have
Jamal.
our next
Thank you,
guest
guys.
pop up. Guys, thank you.
That was sick.
Awesome.
That was awesome.
Pleasure.